Tengkulong ship. A very large ship made by the ancestors of the Indonesian archipelago around 3100 to 2300 BC explored 3/4 of the earth across the Indian mainland carrying the philosophy of Dharmic original. The Indonesian nation is a nation of ocean voyagers, only inferior to publications by other nations, and news published in the world are as follows. Phoenician. They are very famous shipbuilders. Phoenicians. The ship has a sail and also oars on the front of the ship. There is a dragon head shape. Is it true? Is this the so-called Phoenici ship? Identical with the Phoenician nation, which he said was the maritime nation of the world's ocean explorers. Watch this. The Phoenicians Phoenicians lived in the Middle East region now in Lebanon and Syria as a coastal sea area confined by desert. News published in the world. They were very famous shipbuilders. The ship had a sail and oars on the front of the ship. There was a dragon head shape. Question. Is it true that the big ship was made in an area whose beaches are confined by deserts with a little forest? 2. Does the culture have the dragon head philosophy in it? It's a fact that the Phoenicians had a predominantly growing forest of cedars. They built ships using wood from cedars and cedar wood. Does only 2 types of wood guarantee that the ship that is made can survive in seawater and explore the world's oceans? Professor Juris Zarins believes that the Sumerians came from the Asia Minor region around the year 3500 BC, and historical evidence does not exist that prove the Phoenicia ever built a giant ship. Meanwhile, the ship, Phoenici, Nusantara, was not taken from the literacy of the words of the Phoenicians, Phoenicians. Pancala. This word is written in several Vedic books. According to Kumbhakara Jataka, the capital of Uttara Pancala was Kampiyanagara, where a king named Damuka. According to Mahabharata, number 138, 73-4 J.IE.379, also MTU.IE.26, but DVY 435 call the capital of Hastinapura as Ahichatra or Chatravati, while the capital of Daksina, Pancala, is Kampilya. Uttara Pancala was included in the kingdom of Kuru, e.g., JV 444, in Mahabharata I.138, but at other times he formed part of Kampilarutha, e.g., J.IE.79, v. 21, 289. Some of the literature J.Vi. 329, 396, etc. Also PVA 161. See also Uttaradhyayana Sutras, SBE. XLV 5761 and Ramayana, I.32, Sambuddha is the king of Uttara Pancala, J. IV.392 FF. Sometimes the king of Pancala is just referred to as Pancala, e.g., JIV.430, VV. 98 Jayadisa. The ship, Panchalong. The name of the ship that was mentioned by other people when the big ship came to a country by mentioning where the ship came from. Pancala. The ship, Panchalong, is a type of early generation ship, measuring 170 mtr long, 40 mtr wide, 5 sails 75 meters high, crewed by 1,000 people with 300 oarsmen on each side, with the front part bearing the dragon head symbol. It has been made and there are remains of its artifacts in the form of giant anchors found in Kampar, Area 13 Kodo Kampar, Riau, Sumatra, Indonesia. Kampar. This word is written in the previous scriptures as Kampilya, around the current site of estuary Takas. The big ship, Panchalong, sails in the vast ocean with 5 wide and sturdy main sails. At the top of its mast the emblem of swastika is drawn. Ship, Panchalong, in the era of Dapuntha Hyong 6th century, 4th century 11th, transports 2,213 alumni of graduates to the West. From the university where Dharmic original, teaching and learning in Kanva, is called Dharma Phala, in Minanga Kanva. The previous Kampar was called Kampiyanagara, or Kampilarutha. 2,213 graduates went to the north with the Supreme Guru sages, among them named Svarnadvipa Dharmakirti, Karaputa, Kanjaya and Saraputra, spread across the Indian mainland. Here are found artifacts, evidence of once standing a large complex of learning sites. Dharmic original, that has been going on 14 centuries ago, which had been visited by Chinese pilgrims from the Fa Huan period 337-422 AD as well as It Shing 689 to 695 AD to study. Not bringing teachings Buddhism from his country and then spread to the archipelago Nusantara Indonesia. Other evidence. There are 5 types of ships in the 7 reliefs depicted on Borobudur wall according to a book written by 1873. Conradus Lehmans. The ship depicted on the Borobudur relief is a type of ship. 3rd generation. The type of ship of the next generation was named Polari, the initial form of Pinisi, with a curved keel and smaller in size than the Lambaya type. It was steered with 2 side rudders at the stern. The next generation of ships, Pinisi, according to the script Shore, Ilogaligo already existed before the 14th century. Pinisi was first made by Saragading, Prince of Karaja Luwu, to sail to China. The sailing ship, Lankang, Nusantara began to dominate the vast ocean from the Malacca Strait, the Indian Ocean from the 11th-12th centuries. The Lankang ship last generation was only until the 14th century AD. Then replaced with Panko or Pankung boats. Panko, pirate. This is the Portuguese-English designation. Other types are Lanco boats. Panko boats with single sail, buttresses. Lanco boats do not sail but are rowed together. Dondong boat. This boat is victorious across the ocean. From the Malacca Strait and the archipelago with Pankung boats, Dondong boats can sail. 16th century Kampar River. The Dondong and Pankung boats were used by the Sultan of Malacca, Mahmud Saya Akhiral era in 1526 as many as 42 ships, while escaping from a Portuguese attack, after exile in Bintan, then departed for help to the land of his ancestors, Kampar, the center of Kadachuan before and after being called Srivijaya. Single quote. The last generation of the Kampar Malay ships to rule the seas is the Kajong type of ship. It resembles a sailboat, Panko, made of woven kajong and woven rattan embroidered. Neat, last sailing on the Kampar River in 1964. The ships above are the generation of Indonesian ships in the era after the types of ships depicted at Borobudur. Watch this. In his book Wadal written in 1925 about the nation Aryan, he dropped claims so far about Aryan being a Sumerian nation, with evidence of artifacts and relics he encountered. From all the written evidence, Wadal 1925 about the Aryan nation, this explains even affirms that geography is also a symbol of the artifacts found characterizing it is the area of the equator of the archipelago and the year it is estimated. Prove. There has been an advanced civilization around the year 3100 to 2300 BC. The Mahajanapadas I-213, IV.252, states that there are 2 countries. Uttara Pankala and Dakina Pankala. The Bhagirathi River borders it, and according to Kumbhakara, Jataka, the capital of Uttara Pankala, is Kampianagara, where a king named Damuka once ruled. The word Damuka is synonymous with the word Domo, one of the names of the tribes around the estuary Takas site, Kampar. The customary law system in Kampar is still in effect today, Soko, Pisoko and Limbago, which reflect this. The Kedichuan system before and after was called Srivijaya. In the early Pra-Srivijaya era the order was led by the name Kandra Nago. Kaniago. The origin of the name Kandra Nago. Nago or dragon. This symbol is used on the large vessel Pankalong. There is a tribe apart from the main Soko. From this the child is Tumenging, with a daughter who is married to a clever named Perpatia, then has a daughter in the matrilineal family system named Malay, Muni, Jambik, and the youngest is named Pito, or Dui Pito. Kaniago, originating from the initial word Kandra Nago, is the husband of the mother goddess, who later became the pre-Islamic Kaniago tribe. The Mahabharata, number 138, 73-4 J.IE.379, call the capital of Hastinapura as Ahichatra or Chatravati, while the mother Daksina city, Pankala, is Kampalia. Note the relationship between the words Pankala, Kampalia, and Kampar. The ship Panchalong, is an early generation ship, measuring 170 mtr long, 40 mtr wide, 5 sails. 75 meters high, manned by 1,000 soldiers with 300 oars on each side. The front of the ship bearing the dragon's head symbol, was once made in Kampar and proven by the discovery of the remains of its artifact in the form of a giant anchor. The ship, Panchalong, in the era of Dapuntha Hyong 6th century, 4th century 11th day. Transporting alumni. 2,213 graduates to the east as well as 2,213 people to the west. Leave, Kanva, Kampar with Guru Maha Reshi among them named Svarnadvipa Dharmakirti, Karaputa, Kanjaya and Saraputra. Spreads to the north, between them to the mainland of India. From the university where teaching and learning, Dharmak, in Kanva, named Dharma Phala, in Minanga Kanva, Kampar is centered on the site of the Takas estuary. Here you can find artifacts of evidence of once standing a large complex that has been running 14 centuries ago with a student number of more than 2,000. An alumni of 1,600 people. Graduates each year. So, the original ancestral philosophy of the Nusantara, Dharmic original, which is depicted in Borobudur is also perfectly preserved in Bali. Both are not based on any of the two Indian teachings. But the philosophy recorded in both of them is what underlies the growth of the three teachings there. Now, history records upside down. All sites in the archipelago have always been and should only be based on one of the two Indian teachings, by distinguishing the presence and absence of a statue sitting cross-legged. Questions for which there is no answer. When and who were the pre-Islamic missionaries or preachers of Indian Hindu or Buddhist teachings to the Indonesian archipelago? There is no answer. The publication is Labeling by Santo Saba.